Today I'm so sad to be sharing you this bad news that the government has recently introduced. But if you're planning on coming to the UK, guys, I need you to pay attention to all these changes that are going to affect you as of today and 2024. Right. Recently, the first changes, guys, the government introduced an increment of all the visa application fees by 15%. This has been implemented on the 4th of October 2023, that's last month. All the visa application fees have been increased by 15%, and all the priority services have increased by 100% if you're applying from outside the UK. So what it means is if you are applying, for example, for a skilled worker visa, which used to cost £625 for 3 years or less, now it's costing you £719 as of October of this year. If you're planning on applying for a COS, which is a certificate of sponsorship, fees have been increased by 20%. That's a lot of money, guys. And you need to be aware of all these changes because they've already been implemented October 2023. And now the government, as if it's not enough, they've introduced now they've increased the immigration health surcharge fees by 66%, which is a massive amount of money, guys. It used to be £624, but now, starting from the 16th of January 2024, the government is saying we're going to increase all these fees up to £1,035 from £624 each year. Meaning to say, guys, you need to understand this. If you're applying for a 5 year visa, it's going to be £1,035 times 5 years, which is for 5 years visa. Guys, don't panic when you hear all these figures. Like I always encourage you, most employers are willing to pay for all this money for you. This is not something that's going to affect most of you, especially if you're coming on a skilled worker visa. This amount of money, however, does not apply to you if you're coming on a healthcare visa because healthcare visa applicants are exempted from paying the healthcare surcharge. But if you're planning on coming on a skilled worker visa, planning on coming on a visit visa, you are supposed to be knowing all these changes. They're going to affect the visa application fees, and these changes are also going to affect the immigration healthcare surcharge. This applies to skilled worker visa applicants. This applies to the student visa applicants as well. As for all the other visa fees, the changes, like I said, 100% has been increased for those who are applying for priority services. In case you don't know priority services, this is the amount of money you pay in order to get your visa like processed quickly or quicker than the normal processing times. It's now 100% increment from 250, it's now £500. So please, guys, be aware of all these changes because they're going to affect you if you're planning on coming to the UK now and you're planning to come to the UK in 2024. Right. The reason why the government has introduced all these changes is because they're justifying it as a measure to try and find the increment of salaries they did to all the public services, doctors, nurses, the military, which is the army, and everyone else who is in the public services. They've had their salaries increased by the government, but the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, has just introduced all these changes and said they are going to try and put pressure on the visa applicants so they fund all these salary increments. They don't want to spend the government's money on funding all these increments, but rather because they've realized so many people are coming to the UK, this is the source of actually trying to fund public projects as well. So that is why they've introduced and increased all those visa fees. If you are looking for jobs to come to the UK, this is the right channel for you. Please subscribe. Please share with others all this news because it affects them as well if they're planning to come to the UK. All the jobs with visa sponsorship for the UK and for all the other countries overseas, this is the right channel for you. Look out for the or check out for the latest jobs that I'm going to post tomorrow, and I look forward to seeing you soon, guys, on my next video. Thank you so much.